Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday, and thanks for joining me for another bit of morning motivation. Today's message is actually kind of inspired by Gary because I had written this concept of what signal are you emitting, positive or negative. I had written that down in my notes, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, and then today Gary was talking about you attract what you put out there. And so I thought, you know what, that's a sign. I'm going to make this the message today. So when I'm talking about what signal are you emitting, what are you putting out there? Are you putting out there a negative signal or a positive signal? Now, this also ties into the law of attraction. I really am becoming a firm believer in the law of attraction, which means that whatever you dwell on, whatever you concentrate on, whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to attract. So if it's in negative thoughts all the time and woe is me and why does this always happen to me, then that's what you're going to get more of. And the reason I know that is because, as I've told you before, I am a self-proclaimed pessimist, or at least I used to be. And because of that, I got a lot of negativity in return. Like, why did these things happen to me or happen to us? And why do they keep happening to us? Why can't we ever catch a break? Excuse me. And it wasn't until I, sort of changed that way of thinking and started actually taking action around our circumstances. Sorry, all these notices keep coming up. Around our circumstances, whether they are negative or positive. Like, I had to finally start taking action around our finances. And once I started doing that and I started thinking about all the things that we could do when we focused and we actually made progress, when we worked and made progress towards our goals, more positivity started coming our way. Same thing goes with even my social media. I try to do these things to put out more positivity, to surround myself too with the more positive vibe. And I will say, since I've been doing this, not just the videos, but in general, over the last couple of years, I have been attracting more positive people into my life. And I think that's pretty amazing because I don't want to be surrounded by negativity. And, that's kind of crazy because some of you also follow Gary and his wall, and he can be pretty negative. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even going to pretend like that's not out there. And I keep trying to tell him the same thing. Honey, if this is what you keep putting out there, you can't be surprised when that's what you end up surrounded by, and that's what you keep getting in return. So the same goes for me. I try really hard not to put a lot of negative stuff on my Facebook because, I'm not trying to use it just as a complaining platform, and I see a lot of people who are like, I'm so lost right now. And then in the comments, they'll say, well, I can't talk about it right now. Well, then why did you even put it on your wall to begin with? Are you just looking for attention? Guess what? You're going to get pity and probably more negativity. So instead of being just negative, take it and spin it into a positive, even if you don't feel great right now, instead of going, man, this really sucked or is really shitty, but at least I know that I'm going to make it. Or, like we were really upset about the housing situation that had to be extended 2 weeks, like we're like, we're supposed to be moving this weekend and it's not happening. Rather than coming on here and just bitching about how awful it is, at least we still have the intention, have the plan. We're still getting our own house in a couple of weeks. So, I guess that means for 2 weeks longer, my commute is still going to be shorter. For 2 more weeks, I get to still enjoy coming home for lunch, So I got to look at the positivity. And so that's why we don't blast all of our negative. I don't anyway. I can't always say that for Gary. So I know this is a little longer than normal. I do need to wrap it up because I need to get to work. But just remember that, what signal are you emitting? Is it a negative signal? Is it a positive signal? Basically, what's your personal Wi-Fi? Think about that, because whatever you are putting out there is what you're going to get in return. So, and I've seen some of you guys go through a lot of shit too, and a lot of you do a great job of like, this really is hard, but I'm making it, I'm pushing it through. I've got a great support around me, still positive about it. And I appreciate that. Those of you who complain and, fuck this bitch and oh that and oh you're man that and oh blah, blah, blah. Scroll, skip, block, delete, unfriend, whatever. I'm sorry. I ain't got time for that kind of negativity in my life. I want to keep my life positive. That doesn't mean great things are always going to happen, but it's a better chance of positivity. I'm open to it as opposed to being open to just negativity. So that's my little bit of motivation. That's my little soapbox too for the day, by the way. I hope you guys have a great day. It's Thursday. It's almost the weekend. Have an awesome day, and I will see you tomorrow for the final installment of Morning Motivation for the week. Have an awesome day. Go be awesome, and I'll talk to you soon.